Hello, so I'm off on yet another Brontë adventure, this time by train. So I will let you know what's going on as and when, and I think here comes my train. If you haven't already guessed, I'm in York. I've come here today to follow in the footsteps of Anne Brontë's last visit to York. She arrived here on the 24th of May 1849 for a few days before leaving for Scarborough, her last and final destination, and where she later died on the 28th of May, aged only 29. So I'm outside the building. Well, it's actually now next. It used to be the George Hotel, which was where Charlotte, Anne and Ellen came and stayed on Anne's last trip to York. They were on their way to Scarborough for Anne's last visit before she died, and they stayed over here in what was a hotel. It is now next to the clothes shop, but before that it was a department store called, let me check, Leakenthorpe. I did know this, but I couldn't remember the name. And then in the 1930s, it had a huge fire. It burnt down. They rebuilt it into the sort of 1920s, 1930s Art Deco look that it has above today. All that's remaining of the original building is a column and a plaque, which is behind me. So it's a bit sad. It's been replaced and we can't actually see where they stayed. But at least there's something to remember them by. What I forgot to mention was the original hotel that the Brontës would have stayed in was demolished in the late 19th century, and then they built this department store. That was the building that burnt down in the 1930s, not the original hotel. So there you go. Whilst in York, Anne wanted to come to the Minster one last time. It's almost as if she knew that this would be the last time she would see it. So Charlotte and Ellen hired what is called a bath chair, which is a wheelchair really, and wheeled her here so that she could have a look round. They went via some shops to do some shopping for bonnets and gloves more suitable for the seaside, but I don't think they got much done. I think Anne was quite tired. So I'm going to head inside and show you York Minster Cathedral. It's an amazing building. It might be quite busy, so we'll see how we get on, but there is so much to see. So Charlotte and Ellen brought Anne into the Minster. She sat at the back in the pews and looked around her at this amazing building with its columns, its stained glass windows and this amazing ceiling. And apparently she said, if Infinity Power can do this, what is the... And then Charlotte cut her off and said, no, you must go back. They went back. Didn't want her getting upset, didn't want her thinking about her death and what was going to happen. But this almost gave Anne some peace. This gave her some reassurance that if man can make this amazing building for God, what power would God have? And it almost gave her that sort of sense of reassurance and calm, which I hoped gave her comfort in her last few days of her life. So let's have a look around the Minster and I'll show you what Anne would have seen. York Minster has always been a special place for Anne, and in her diary papers of 1841 she said, "4 years ago I was at school. Since then I've been a governess at Blake Hall, left it, come to Thorpe Green and seen the sea and York Minster." I'm on the train, I'm heading home. It's been a lovely day. The sun has come out, it's been really nice. My feet are tired, but I'm more than ready to go home and have a cup of tea. So thank you for joining me today with my adventures around York. It was lovely to have you with me, and I hope you were as moved by Anne's last hours in York as I was. If you enjoyed this video, please do all that likey, subscribey business, because it helps YouTube know that we want to see more Brontë stuff, and it really helps me out. So thank you very much. And have a great weekend, and I will see you next week for more Brontë adventures. Bye!